Have you ever noticed how exhausting it feels when trust breaks? Not just the loss itself, but the endless replaying in your mind, what you said, what they did, what you could have done differently. That spiral quietly drains your energy, your focus, and your self-worth. When trust breaks, rebuild your peace. Not their image, because holding on to confusion hurts longer than the truth ever will. This isn't about blame or bitterness. It's about emotional healing and learning how to protect your inner peace without losing your dignity. Have you ever caught yourself trying to explain someone's behavior just so the pain makes sense? The first pain people feel after broken trust is disbelief. You trusted someone at work, in life, or in a close connection, and suddenly the ground shifts beneath you. What hurts most isn't just what happened, but how quickly safety disappears. The insight here is difficult but freeing. Betrayal does not reduce your value. It exposes a gap in responsibility and character. Guidance begins when you stop turning their choices into a verdict on yourself. You don't need to dissect every detail to prove you were sincere. Healing starts when you allow the hurt to exist without defending the person who caused it, without rushing yourself to be over it, and without questioning your worth. Peace begins to return when you accept that trust breaking says more about limits than it ever says about you. Many people exhaust themselves trying to protect someone's image instead of protecting their own well-being. You soften the story, explain their behavior, or silence your instincts so things don't feel as painful or awkward. The insight is simple. Clarity may sting in the beginning, but confusion quietly drains you over time. Guidance means choosing honesty over denial, even if that honesty is only between you and yourself. You don't owe anyone emotional excuses at the cost of your peace. Healing unfolds when you stop reshaping reality to keep others comfortable and allow yourself to see the situation clearly, calmly, and without self-betrayal. After trust breaks, the mind often turns inward in a harmful way. You replay conversations, search for signs you missed, and quietly ask what you should have done differently. The pain here comes from self-blame disguised as responsibility. The insight is that reflection becomes damaging when it turns into self-punishment. Growth does not require tearing yourself down. Guidance begins when you separate learning from shame. You can acknowledge patterns without labeling yourself as foolish or weak. Healing happens when you treat your past decisions with compassion, recognizing that you acted with the information, intention, and emotional capacity you had at the time. Inner peace grows when you stop rewriting your story as failure and start seeing it as experience that shaped your awareness. Another struggle is the urge to rush healing just to feel normal again. You push yourself to forgive quickly, move on publicly, or appear unaffected so life can continue without disruption. The insight is that unresolved pain does not disappear when ignored. It simply waits. Guidance means giving yourself permission to heal at a human pace, not a social one. You are allowed to slow down, feel unsettled, and rebuild trust with yourself before extending it outward again. Healing strengthens when you honor your emotional timing, understanding that patience is not weakness, but a form of self-respect that restores stability from within. When trust breaks, many people confuse peace with silence. They stop speaking up, suppress their needs, and convince themselves that staying quiet will prevent future hurt. The pain here is emotional self-erasure. The insight is that peace does not come from shrinking yourself. It comes from clarity. Guidance means learning to express boundaries calmly and consistently, without anger or explanation overload. You don't need to justify why something hurts you for it to matter. Healing begins when you realize that protecting your peace sometimes means choosing honest discomfort over familiar emotional strain. Each boundary you uphold reinforces self-respect and restores a sense of inner safety that was shaken by betrayal. Another challenge is the pressure to rebuild trust with others before rebuilding it with yourself. You may question your judgment, instincts, or ability to read situations clearly. The pain lies in losing confidence in your own inner compass. The insight is that self-trust is the foundation of all healthy connections. Guidance starts with small, intentional decisions that align with your values, even when no one else is watching. Healing unfolds as you keep promises to yourself, proving through action that you can rely on your own discernment again. A common struggle after trust is broken is the fear that choosing peace means becoming cold or disconnected. The pain here is the worry that protecting yourself will harden your heart. The insight is that emotional maturity is not emotional shutdown. Guidance means learning to stay kind without being unguarded, and open without being unprotected. You can remain compassionate while being selective about access to your inner world. Healing happens when you understand that peace does not require bitterness, and strength does not require hostility. Calm discernment allows you to move forward with dignity, carrying wisdom instead of resentment. Finally, rebuilding peace requires patience with the healing process itself. Many people rush recovery, hoping to feel normal again as quickly as possible. The pain is frustration with lingering emotions that don't disappear on command. The insight is that emotional healing is not linear, and progress often shows up quietly. Guidance involves honoring small signs of growth, such as responding with calm instead of reaction, or choosing rest over rumination. Healing deepens when you trust that peace is being rebuilt moment by moment, through consistent self-respect and steady inner work. If you're carrying the weight of broken trust, remember this: peace is not found in fixing the past, but in choosing yourself in the present. When trust breaks, rebuild your peace, not their image, and allow emotional healing to restore your strength, clarity, and inner calm. Share your thoughts below. How are you healing today?